back on Larks Network for the top of the sixth inning in the game that's moving quickly. We apologize for the technical difficulties had. Something spill up here got into all of our equipment, but we're back now, and we'll deal with the issues when we get back to Hayes. It's still Garrity on the mound for the Brigade. He allowed one run in the fifth inning, hit one guy, walked one, allowed a double and a single. Brock Loomis brought in Cam Pearson from first on an RBI double, and the Larks have a 1-0 lead here. And the first batter of the sixth inning is Sam Crowell. He will now be 0 for 3 after grounding out to a slow dribbler to Kinneberg. Brings up Cortland Lawson. He struck out in the second inning and then walked in the fourth inning. He's gone on base in every single game for the Larks now that he's played in this season. Plays for the Tennessee Volunteers down in the SEC. Has Grant Schmidt from Fort Hays State on deck and has Cord Jackson out of the Big Ten in the hole. 0-1 to Lawson. Lawson has played third base, shortstop, and second base now for the Larks. The 0-1 delivery to Courts outside 1-0. Game moving along quickly here. Took about an hour for the first 5 innings. It's been a pitcher's duel, and the Larks are currently leading. 1-1, slow one that Cortland Lawson takes to shallow center, left center field. Graff is going to be the one that calls off Beiswanger and Jones, and he's going to have some trouble with it, and Lawson's going to reach on an E6. He's at first base. Hunter Parker, in the meantime, while the stream was down, is in a groove. He has gotten 7 straight outs, striking out 3 in the meantime, 7 total on the day. It's gone 5 innings, 59 pitches, 2 hits allowed, no earned runs, no walks, and punching out 7 guys. As for Garrity, he's now gone 5 1/3 on 82 pitches, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 6 strikeouts, and he's walked 3 guys and plunked 1. Grant Schmidt to the box, 0-1 counts with 1 away and a runner at first. He's 0 for 2 today with 2 strikeouts, and he has a 1-1 count. Takes this one on the ride to center field. Beiswanger jumps right, and it goes into right center field. And Wary's going to be the one who moves into the outfield and has a much easier time than Graff did with his. It's a pop-up for Schmidt, who's now 0 for 3, and we go to Cord Jackson, who's 0 for 2 with a ground out and a flyout. First delivery to Jackson, the Cornhusker at Nebraska. Misses above the letters, 1-0. Pearson on deck with Loomis in the hole. To open the bottom of the 6th will be the top of the order for the Brigade. 1-0 to Jackson. Missing the outside corner is Garrity, 2-0. Garrity now has 4 earned runs on his season. And now thrown 87 pitches in this game, 48 of those strikes. Throwing strikes on about 55% of his pitches. Jackson sends this one over the left side and out of play. We'll go 2-1 here in Junction. Cortland gets his lead at first base. 2 outs in the top of the 6th. Hayes up 1-0. Each team has an error. Hayes has 4 hits. Brigade have just 3. Inside, off the turf, 3-1. Popping up is Howard. He looks back. Lawson to first base. Larks have left a total of 5 guys on base. 2 in the 5th and 2 in the 4th. 1 back in the first inning. Lawson takes off for second, and the throw is going to be in time, and he is thrown out trying to steal his second base of the day. But in the meantime, Cord Jackson walks. So it actually won't be a thrown out. He's going to be awarded second base, and Jackson's given first. Jackson aboard for the first time today. Umpire gave Lawson the out signal at second, and the home plate umpire corrected him and said, hey, that's a walk right there. That's the 3rd walk in the past 3 innings for Garrity. 2 on, 2 out. This pitch almost catches Pearson's rib cage. It's 1-0. This one's popped up, and Howard ditches the face mask and moves around and will record out number 3. Larks get 2 on, but don't score any in the 6th. They take a 1-0 lead to the bottom half. Bottom of the 6th, and the first pitch is a ground ball back to Parker. He comes off the mound and throws out Beiswanger. Third ground out that Parker has come off the mound to field today, and he has now gotten 9 straight outs, retiring the last 8, but one of them was a double play. Takes us to Gus Freeman. He's been aboard 2 times today, once on a single, once on a catcher's interference, and hasn't gotten past first base. He has a first pitch strike from Parker. Hunter Parker on the mound has started off 11 of the 19 batters he's faced with a first pitch strike. He goes home 0-1, and it's popped behind the mound. He comes off the mound, and it's going to be a Baltimore chop that he will throw out his 4th base runner of the game. Cade Graff comes up to the plate. Now he's 0 for 2. He had an inning-ending double play back in the 3rd, and Hunter Parker in a groove. 5 2/3 for Hunter Parker. 62 pitches, 46 strikes, 2 hits, 7 punch-outs, no walks, no runs. Only 1 runner has gone past second base since the 2nd inning. 1-0 is the count to Graff. Parker will go from the windup and gets a fly ball to right field. Schmidt comes in, moves back into his left. It's by the foul line and records out number 3. The 3rd straight 1-2-3 inning for Parker and Co. We go to the 7th. Hayes up 1-0. Top of the 7th, bottom of the order for Hayes. It's Brock Loomis, the catcher from Butler CC, leading it off. And an RBI double back in the 5th inning. Other than that, he's 1 for 2. And this will be his first look at the new pitcher, Tanner Martin, out of Emporia State. It's a day for Austin Garrity. The 0-1 home outside. Loomis chases it, sends it to the backstop. 0-2. For Brock Loomis, that was his 4th double of the season. He picked up RBI number 10. Brought home Cam Pearson for Cam's 20th run scored on the season. That's 2nd on the team behind only Core Jackson. Drop 3rd strike. Loomis will run to first. Howard will throw him out. 1 up, 1 down to get the 7th inning going. For Tanner Martin, this is appearance on the rubber number 9 this season. Has thrown 12 1/3. He's 2-1 with a save. And 1 save opportunity. He's allowed 10 hits, 6 earned runs, 18 walks, 21 strikeouts, and hit 1 guy. Throws a first pitch strike to Tyler Palmer, the center fielder, who was hit by a pitch in the 5th inning while we were down. And he has 2 strikeouts on the day, looking for his first hit after a 3-hit effort in yesterday's ballgame. Martin goes from the windup and misses inside. 1 ball and a strike to the center fielder from Nebraska. Kavanaugh on deck with Divis in the hole for Hayes. Fastball outside, 2-1 to Palmer. Martin on the mound, a whip above 2 at 2.27 and an ERA of 2.38. Got some movement down in the bullpen for Hayes. It's a righty, and it looks like Cade Brown out of the University of Oklahoma up and throwing for Hayes, but Hunter Parker is in a groove, and I wouldn't take him off the mound anytime soon. They did take him off against Junction after only 5 innings and allowing 1 hit, but in his career now against Junction has thrown 11 innings, allowing 3 hits, and he has struck out 7 tonight. 4 in his last ball game to make that 11. Chop over the third base side will roll foul on the payoff pitch. So we get a second payoff pitch here to Tyler Palmer. So it's a day for Austin Garrity on the rubber. He goes 6 innings strong, 94 pitches, 50 of those in the zone, allows 5 hits, allows 1 run, strikes out 6 and walks 4. Larks put 12 guys on the base paths against him. And this will be the first base runner against Martin. It's Tyler Palmer picking up his first walk of the night, and he's aboard for the 2nd straight time. For Tyler Palmer, that is walk number 6 on the season through 8 games. Martin, a righty, will go from the stretch. Tyler Palmer takes off on the first pitch, but it's going to be off Matt Kavanaugh's elbow. And not even sure he caught his elbow guard, but he'll take first. The second hit batter in the past 3 innings. There's 2 on with only 1 out. That's just the first time Kavanaugh's been hit this season. Larks have been hit a total of 27 times this year through 20 games. Tyler Palmer at second. He was taken off on the pitch, but it won't matter. And we got a Cornhusker at second, a Maverick at first, and a Maverick at the plates. Wyatt Divis, the DH out of UTA. He's 1 for 2 in the day with a single, a walk, and a flyout. First pitch to him is a ball, 1-0. Pitch number 2, grounded to first base, and Gus Freeman has trouble with it. It's going to be an error. Tyler Palmer's going to come home from second. Kavanaugh around second, heads to third. He's in safe at head first, and Wyatt Divis brings home Tyler Palmer. Palmer now scores the 2nd run of the game for Hayes. Kavanaugh goes to third, and Divis is aboard on the Brigade's 2nd error of the past 2 innings. Runners on the corners with 1 out, and we're going to get a mound visit between Brandon Bacher and Tanner Martin. It's like he's going to keep him in and not take the ball. Let's check out Tanner Martin. He's from Blue Springs, Missouri. He's a 6'2 freshman at Emporia State and didn't make any appearances for the Hornets this season. So they're going to leave Tanner Martin on the mound. Bacher back to the dugouts. Sam Corral to the dish for Hayes. Sam on the day, due for a hit. He's 0 for 3. He has the second longest hitting streak on the team, sitting at 7 games. It's in jeopardy right here. He fouls one off to the left side. Chasing it is Kinneberg and Howard, and it is going to be off the top of the stands on the roof. Scoreboard shows a 1-1 count to the first baseman from the University of Texas at Arlington. This is the Larks' first look at Martin this season. Oh and 1. Umpire holds up the count. Davis gets his lead at first. Kavanaugh gets his lead at third. And this pitch is going to be off Howard. Kavanaugh stays still at third base. And it's a 1-1 count now. And Martin's last outing was against the Lawrence Travelers. He went 2 1/3. That was just 4 days ago. Allowed 4 hits, 1 earned run, a walk, and he punched out 5. Comes home, misses again off the turf. 2-1 now to Corral. Lawson on deck with Schmidt in the hole. Larks brought 5 hitters to the plate in the last inning, put 2 aboard on an error and a walk, and didn't score any, but in the 5th they scored their first and only run before this inning on a Brock Loomis 1-out double. 2-1 delivery comes home. It's going to miss the zone low. Hitters count for the first baseman. Sam looking to put his hitting streak at 8 games now. He has the second longest hitting streak, just behind Wyatt Divis, who extended his hitting streak to 12 games today. Foul ball from Corral. He has a full count. We'll get a payoff pitch. 1 out in the top of the 7th and a 2-0 ball game in favor of the Larks. Runners at the corners. 1 through 3 in the order have each been aboard at least 2 times. Sam Corral hasn't been aboard once. He's batting cleanup today. He's looking to get there for the first time on this payoff pitch from Martin. It's inside, and he will take a walk. And for Sam Corral, that is walk number 11 of the season. That is 3rd on the team. And he loads the bases. Kavanaugh at 3rd, Divis at 2nd, with Corral at 1st. All 3 UTA Mavericks in the order on base tonight. Right now, Cortland Lawson comes up to the plate. He's been aboard 2 times, but he's 0 for 2, reaching on an error, striking out, and walking. Dangerous hitter and a big situation here in this game. Can't give Lawson something good to hit. The Larks are masters of getting walks. Walked 8 times in the 8th inning yesterday and scored multiple runs off of them. And Cortland Lawson is so good at getting walks. He's walked 11 times in 7 ball games. The 1-0 to Lawson, swinging a foul ball, 1-1. Lawson went to the College World Series with Tennessee, but didn't play. But had quite a few appearances for the Volunteers this season and batted above 300. Infield playing in on the corners, at least on Gus Freeman's side. And Cortland Lawson grounds this one to the left side. He hustles down to first. They won't get a double play as Graffy likes to go to first. And Cortland Lawson picks up an RBI on the ground outs, bringing home Matt Kavanaugh. Larks now up 3-0. Sam Crown moves to third. Sam Crown to second. Wyatt Davis to third. For Matt Cav, that is run scored at number 4 this season. And for Court, that is RBI number 10 through 7 games. Brings up Grant Schmidt. Grant 0 for 3 on the day. He is the lone Lark to not get aboard today. And Martin's going to have a chat with Waries. Both guys are going to get some chalk as we got a timeout here. Waries goes back to second. Martin still going after that chalk. Hides it on his forearm. So that's on me right there, waiting on Gus Freeman. And he raises his hat to the ground, and we'll go here. Gus Freeman played for the Larks last year. His teammates loved him. He was a great guy to have for the NBC. Played in just one game, but will be forever remembered by the Hayes faithful. So now we'll go Martin versus Schmidt, righty versus righty. First pitch, Grant sees he fouls it off, 0-1. Jackson on deck with Pearson in the hole for Hayes. Due up for the Brigade in the bottom of the 7th. After the stretch will be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. The 0-1 to Schmidt chases one low and outside, 0-2. Martin shakes off 3 straight signs from Howard. Nods on number 4. And we'll go home for the 0-2. Line drive hard. Divis ducks out of the way on the third base line. We will go 0-2. Cade Brown still warming up for the Larks in right field. And we got a righty warming up in left field for Junction. Actually looks like a lefty. Chandler Young warming up. Check swing from Grant Schmidt, and Martin gives him the hat trick. Third strikeout of the day for Schmitty. Larks leave 2 on, but they pick up 1 in the 7th. 2 here. And the inning, we'll go to the bottom half. Hayes up by 3. Bottom of the 7th we go. Hunter Parker back to the mound. In a groove, gets a swing and a miss on the first pitch to Kinneberg. Kinneberg on the day 0 for 2 with a ground out and a strikeout. This is his third look at Hunter Parker, and the Brigade go through their third time in the order. This one going to be chopped off of Kinneberg, and we will go 0-2. The Brigade haven't had a base runner since the third inning, as Hunter Parker's gone 11 straight outs. Junction's left 3 on base today. They have just a couple of hits and have 0 walks. Parker's going to miss his location on this one. Misses off the turf, 1-2. Redden on deck with Jones in the hole for Junction. Parker goes from the windup. Fastball grounded over the left side. Parker comes off the mound again, fields it, throws off balance to first, and Sam Krause saves an error coming off the first base side, and snow cones the ball on a high throw from Parker. It's going to be the first hit for Junction since the third inning and their first base runner in that same time frame. Takes us to Garrett Redden. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout and a ground out. That's the first leadoff base runner since the first inning for Junction. Redden, the right fielder, out of Cloud County Community College, where Larks' current right fielder, Grant Schmidt, spent a couple years playing for. Delivery misses outside. Loomis slides to keep it from going to the backstop, 1-0. Parker has now gone 6 1/3. Now 6 complete on the mound. He's looking for a 6 1/3 right here. 67 pitches, 2 hits. Line drive to Cortland Lawson. It's off his glove. Rolls into left field. Rounding second is going to be Kinneberg, and the Larks could have got him in a pickle had they thrown to second. They go to third, and he's forced to retreat, and that's the second straight hits. There's now 4 hits for Junction, all out from Parker. Redden at first, Kinneberg at second. Brigade trying to make a threat here in the bottom half of the 7th inning. They're down to their final 9 outs, down by 3. Jackson Jones to the dish. He grounded out to Hunter Parker to start the 2nd inning and struck out against Parker to end the 4th inning. Line drive to right center field is going to drop. Grant Schmidt lets it bounce. Runner comes home from third, and Schmidt has some trouble with it. It's going to be a double here for Jackson Jones, and the Brigade get their first run of the ball game. It's a 3-1 game. That's Kinneberg's 7th run scored this season. And for Jackson Jones, that's RBI number 7. And Keith Harper's going to come out of the dugouts, and we'll see if the Larks want to bring in Cade Brown, and it appears they will. So we'll take a quick break and be back on Larks Network. New pitcher into the game for the Larks is Cade Brown, the Oklahoma Sooner. It's his first outing on the mound in a while. He's warmed up several times for the 9th inning, and the Larks just never brought him in, trusting the current guys on the mound. This is appearance number 7 for Brown. Has never thrown more than 1 2/3. That was his longest outing. That was Saturday, June 5th. It was his debut for the Larks, and he faced 5 batters and struck out every single one against the Roughnecks. Foul ball from Howard makes a 0-2 count. Howard 0 for 2. He's got 2 guys in scoring position with nobody out. Tying run at second base for Junction. Brown has 1 loss on the season. That was against the Cannons. 1 win. And Larks, he pitched the 9th, and then Grant Schmidt walked it off for him. He's 1-0, has allowed 7 hits all season long, striking out 13 and walking just 2. It's the highest recruit the Larks have on their roster. Is given a perfect game grade of 9.5 out of 10 coming out of high school in California. Slider from Brown will punch out Howard, and that's the first out of the 7th inning. 1 away, 2 on. A's up by 2. Strikeout number 14 on the season for Brown, and Howard is now 0 for 3. The bottom 3 of the order for Junction, a combined 0 for 7. Dylan Waries will come up to the plate now. He's 0 for 2. He faced Hunter Parker 2 times and struck out swinging in both efforts. Brown will go from the stretch. First delivery home, off speed outside, 1-0. Larks scored 2 in this inning after scoring 1 in the 5th. Trying to put some more runs on the board in the 8th will be the bottom 3 of the order: Jackson, Pearson, and Loomis. Brown, a tall righty, gets this one up the middle. Kavanaugh dives for it. It might have saved a run as Core Jackson chases into the outfield. The throw home is not going to be in time. It's a 2 RBI single for Dylan Waries, and we're tied here in Junction. Redden scores, Jones scores, and Waries picks up 2 ribbies. Jones now has an RBI and a run scored on the day. For Redden, that is run score number 8. And for Waries, RBIs number 1 and 2 this season. And the other guy scoring was Jones. That is run score number 9. Runner at first with 1 out. Both runs will be counted to Hunter Parker. First pitch from Brown outside, 1-0. Brown goes home. Delivery outside over the plate, 1-1. Brigade have won 6 of their last 7. I'm going to make it 7 out of the last 8 tonight. Larks looking to make their win streak go to 4 games here right now. They're currently first in the Rocky Mountain Baseball League. And runner takes off from first, swinging a fly ball over to the right side. Crowell drifts into foul territory and is at the wall, and it drops over to the right side into the fans. So we will go 1-2 against Rhett Spell, the DH. Spell on day 0 for 2 with a ground out and a pop-up. Brown will wait for Spell. He'll go from the stretch. 1-2 delivery home. It's grounded past ground into right field. That is hit number 4 of this inning. And Junction showing no signs of stopping. There's 2 on with only 1 out. Waries the second, Spell at first. And Brown, who was dominant early starting the season after coming from the Big 12, has allowed 2 hits. Thomas Beiswanger to the dish. The center fielder is 1 for 3. Brown looks at second, goes home. Off speed in the zone for a called strike. Freeman on deck with Graff in the hole for Junction City. Brown sports that number 28. Has a 6'4" frame, and he goes home, gets a swing And one that'll be fouled off of by Swanger. Limps away from the plate, and we'll go back to the right-hander's batter's box, down 0-2. Larks scored 2 runs in the top of this inning off of 0 hits. Had a couple of walks, a hit by pitch, and a reach on an error. Cade Brown sets up, and he'll go home. The 0-2 swung on and missed. It's going to be a drop third strike, and every runner will move up. So a tough turn of events right there. But it will be out number 2. Takes us to Gus Freeman. He's 1 for 2 on the day. He's been aboard 2 times. Ball got away from Loomis, but with a runner at first and second, you can't reach on a drop third strike. It's out number 2, but moving into third base is Waries, and Spill moves to second. Nice pitch from Cade. A slider catches the outside corner, 0-1. Junction has 7 hits, 5 of those in this inning. They had 1 in the first, 1 in the third, and they have walked still no times. 0-1 slider outside, 1-1. Brown has thrown 2/3 of an innings on 14 pitches. 2 hits, 2 strikeouts. Gets strike 2 called. He's looking for strikeout number 3 and to send us to the 8th on his next pitch. He's thrown strikes on 77% of his pitches in this outing, and as a strike thrower throws strikes on 67% of his pitches throughout the 2021 season. Freeman's the 8th hitter of the inning, and he's looking to bring home 1-2, 2 outs, 2 on in the bottom of the 7th in a 3-3 ball game. Brown comes home, gets a foul ball. Freeman reaches for ones and sends it out of play. Got a couple guys up in the pen. One of them is Brady Evans, a catcher, and a righty up and warming up for Hayes. Swan is going to miss a few feet in front of the plate. It drops off the turf, 2-2. That is Jose Velasquez up and moving for Hayes in the pen. Two-two delivery outside, and Freeman working a great at bat here. Was down 1-2, has now worked himself into a full count. Ground ball right at Sam Grell. He picks it up off the turf, flexes, and tags first base. Larks allow a couple runs. And Cade Brown on the mound and one with Hunter Parker on the mound. They give up 3 total, and we go to the 8th inning, tied game. Cord Jackson going to lead off the 8th for Hayes. Jackson on the day walked in his last AB. Other than that, he's 0 for 2. Larks scored 2 in the 7th. Brigade followed it up with 3 of their own. It's 3-3 here in the 8th. 0-1 from Martin. Catches the outside corner, 0-2 against Jackson. Jackson, recruited as one of the top players out of Canada in the class of 2021, has committed and signed with the Nebraska Cornhuskers. Taking his talents to Kansas for the summer, sends this one over the left side on the 0-2 count. Martin can go from the windup righty versus a left-handed hitter, and Jackson takes this one to the gap in left center. Jones races towards it. It's going to drop. Jackson rounds first base hard and heads back there with the leadoff single. He's the team leading scorer with 23 runs scored on the season. He's wanting to make it 24 and give the Larks the lead back. Jose Velasquez up in the pen, throwing pitches to Brady Evans after Cade Brown replaced Hunter Parker. Velasquez has been the most consistent reliever for Hayes this season, went his first 14 innings of the season without allowing a single hit. Check over at Jackson. Freeman saves a runner from going to second, leaping for this one and snagging it. Pearson 0 for 2 on the day with a walk. He scored the Larks' first run of the game. That was back in the 5th inning on the Brock Loomis double. Loomis is on deck right now. Tyler Palmer is in the hole. This pitch to Pearson over the outside part of the plate on a fastball, 0-1. Larks left 2 on base in each of the last 4 innings. Left on base has been a huge problem for the Larks this season, has cost them a few games. Check over at Jackson. He slides in head first safely. Jackson is yet to be thrown out on a pickoff or steal attempt this season. The 0-1. It's inside to Pearson, 1-1. Had a couple weeks ago, maybe a week or so ago, Pearson made it official that he was committing to Fort Hays State University. Could see the writing on the wall that was going to happen for a while, but made it official and announced it to the world, and has taken his talents to Hayes last summer, and is going to keep him there for his collegiate ball. 1-2 to Camp. Martin goes home. 1-2 outside, trying to frame it as Howard. He doesn't get the call, as they will call a balk and give Cord Jackson second base. Larks have only allowed 1 balk this season. It was Hunter Parker who started this game, and that's the 3rd time Larks will advance on a balk. Jackson at second now in scoring position, a 1-2 count to Cam Pearson. One-two delivery from Martin home. So over the outside part of the plate, he'll throw down to second. Jackson slides in safely where he drops the ball. Keeps the tag on Jackson until he gets time, and he stands up on second. We'll get time from Martin. Wants a new sign. Looks in from Howard. Howard gives him the sign. Martin gives him a nod. Takes a peek at Jackson. Sets up and will go from the stretch. Count even at 2. Pitch home. Outside. 3-2 to Camp. Camp batting .403 this year. Has an OPS of 1.016. Any OPS above .9 is going to be something to lead, and so he is showing his talent this summer. Sends the payoff pitch over to the right side and out of play. We'll get back into the right-hander's batter's box, working the long AB versus Martin. Second payoff pitch from Martin comes home. It's going to miss low, and he puts Pearson on. Back-to-back base runners off of a single and a walk. And a great at-bat from Cam. Puts 2 on. Brings us to Brock Loomis. Loomis comes to this game with a batting average 250. That's the second lowest on the team, but he shrugged that aside and hit an RBI double back in the 5th inning. That was his 3rd double of the season. Had a breakout game about 10 days ago in which he almost had a cycle, but today he's looking for RBI number 2. He shows bunt. The pitch is way outside on a fastball, and Howard's going to look Jackson back to second. 1-0 to Loomis. Hayes, Kansas native. Plays for Butler CC. He's showing bunt again, pulls back, gets a called strike. Freeman was breaking from first, and he'll head back there as Loomis now has a 1-1 count. Larks have a combined 42 doubles on the season. There's only one guy on the roster that doesn't have a double, but the guy has only played in 6 games. Loomis shows bunt again, and he fouls this one off. No more bunts for Loomis, as he will go back with a 1-2 count. It's Tyler Palmer on deck with Kavanaugh in the hole for Hayes. He gets his signs from third base coach and head coach Frank Leo in his 40th season with the Larks. Last night in Augusta at the Cannons game, the Larks won. The Cannons had a little ceremony for him and Keith Harper, congratulating them on the 75th anniversary season. Classy move from the Cannons. The 1-2 to Loomis. Off speed outside, 2-2. Larks won that game in 10 innings. It was a thriller, down by 7 late, and scored 11 unanswered runs. Actually, a pretty neat article that Larks were tagged in about Cannons. Really weren't surprised that the Larks came back because they've seen Frank Leo and co. do it many times over the past 40 years. Martin looks home and sees a 2-2 count against Loomis. Looks at Jackson and misses above the letters to Loomis, and Hayes looking for their 2nd straight walk. Get a payoff pitch from Martin. Delivery comes home. The payoff pitch low and outside. 2nd straight walk allowed. A great AB from Loomis after a great AB from Pearson. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. Larks looking to take the lead back. And out of the dugouts will be Brandon Bacher, the head coach of the Junction City Brigade. And we'll take a quick break during the timeout. Bases loaded. Top of the 8th. Nobody out for Tyler Palmer, who has one of the hottest bats in Kansas. Has 4 home runs in his last 3 games. Had one of them last night. It was a 3-run home run. New pitcher of the game is Chandler Young. And Palmer sends this one over the right side and out of play. No balls and a strike to tonight's center fielder. He went 3 for 6 last night, drove in 6 runs, and also picked up his first career win on the mound. He's batting .455 this year with an OBP above 500. And he has 8 hits in his last 3 games. 1-1 to Palmer. In those last 3 games, he's driven in 12 runs and scored 6 times. Swings under this one, 1-2. Chandler Young will replace Tanner Martin. This is Young's 6th appearance on the mound this season. He's gone 14 innings. This is his 5th appearance in relief. Has gotten 12 hits, 6 earned runs, 6 walks, and he struck out 10 guys. Fast or off speed, high and outside, 2-2 to Palmer. On deck, Kavanaugh with Davis in the hole for Hayes. Larks trying to score. Palmer started out this day 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts, but since then has been aboard 2 times on a hit by pitch and a walk. He scored back in the 7th inning. This one outside, breaking home from third base is Core Jackson. Ball gets away, and Core Jackson will score. Young couldn't grip the ball. He punches his glove and is frustrated as the Larks take the lead back. They're up 4-3. Core Jackson scores his team leading 24th run, and Hayes back up again by 1. Velasquez done warming up in the pen. He's back in the dugout. See if the Larks want to take him for the 8th. And it's a full count now to Palmer. Cam Pearson moves to third. Brock Loomis is being courtesy ran by Zach Henry is at second. And Tyler Palmer will be struck out for the 3rd time today, and he heads back to the dugout with 2 on. That brings up Matt Kavanaugh on the day. A single, a double, and a hit by pitch. He scored. He was the other run back in the 7th inning. His delivery to Divis outside, 1-0. One ball, no strikes, 1 away. This delivery outside to Divis, 2-0. To Kavanaugh. This is Kavanaugh's 3rd year sporting that blue uniform for Hayes. This is just the 4th game he's appeared in. He started 1 game on the 22nd and didn't appear again until the 3rd. Pops this one up over the right side. Freeman struggles with it and loses it in the lights, and Kavanaugh, who trotted down first base, will tag first base in time, and the Larks reach on Gus Freeman's error. 3rd error for Junction. The other ones were from Lawson hit it to Graf. Graf struggled with it, and Gus Freeman also had an error back in the 7th inning. Bases loaded with 1 out for Divis. Double play now on the table. Divis singled in the 1st, walked in the 4th, flew out in the 5th, and reached on an error in the 7th. Young sends this one to Divis. He sends it back to the backstop. 1-1. Corral on deck with Lawson in the hole. Young, a southpaw out of the University of Jamestown. Goes home and misses low. 2-1. It's the first time Kavanaugh's reached on an error this season, thanks to his former teammate Gus. Divis reads this one all the way to his bats. Freeman will make the play at first off of a ground ball. Ball gets away on the throw to home to Howard, and Cam Pearson will score standing up, and Wyatt Divis will reach at first base. Freeman went straight home and didn't tap first. The umpire will say Wyatt Divis was out, that Freeman did touch the bag. It's an RBI for Wyatt. It's RBI number 11 of the season, and he brought home Cam Pearson for Cam's second run scored of the day, number 21 on the year, second on the team. So that moves Zach Henry to third base with his teammate Sam Crow at the dish. Had Davis been at first, there would have been 4 UTA players on the field at once. Swing and a miss on Crow. He's down 0-2. Hayes up 5-3 here. And the top of the 8th inning, Brigade will be down to their final 6 outs. And it'll be the 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up. Southpaw goes home. Misses outside on the off speed. Crow started his day 0-3 but walked in the last inning. The 1-2 from Young. Down the pipe, Sam swings at it and misses. He'll finish his day 0-3. Larks get 2 back in the 8th. They lead by 2 as we go to the bottom half. Bottom of the 8th, Cade Brown back to the mound. Leading it off for Junction is Cade Graff. He's 0-3 with a double play, a strikeout, and a flyout. Larks picked up a couple walks in the 8th inning. I only have 1 hit in the past 2 innings, but in that time frame, they've scored 4 runs. Brown has a 1-1 count versus Graff, the shortstop, batting 3. And someone's going to miss outside, too. And when we saw Velasquez warming up, he's back in the dugouts and ready to go if the Larks need him. It's a day for Cam Pearson. He's back in the dugouts after scoring. We'll get you the defensive change in the second. That is Zach Henry in left field, Grant Schmidt still in right, and Tyler Palmer in center. Two balls, 2 strikes here to Graff. Larks scored their first run in the 5th, and they've scored 2 in the 7th and 8th. This one's going to be swung on and missing. Cade Brown picks up his second strikeout on the day. One up, one down to get this inning going. Junction down to their final 5 outs. Down by 2. Brings up Joseph Kinnenberg, the cleanup hitter and the third baseman. He is 1 for 3 with a run scored. Scored the first run for a Junction of the game in the last inning. Under the lights here in Junction, slider from Brown catches the zone, 0-1. Pitch number 2, a slider again. This one misses low and outside, 1-1. Cade Brown, a nice arsenal of pitches. So does Hunter Parker. Hunter Parker started the game. He went 6 innings, 5 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, and 7 strikeouts. He won't get qualified for a decision today as the Larks took the lead back in the 8th inning after Cade Brown came in. And Cade Brown's looking to get win number 2 of the season and shut this game down. 1-2 with 1 away and the bases empty in the bottom of the 8th. 1-2 flown to center field. The area, Cord Jackson will be the one who moves behind second base, stays in the infield, and records out number 2. 4 straight Brigade retired. They're down to their final 4 outs. Bring up to the plate, Garrett Redden. Right on the day, 1 for 3 with a single. Single in the 7th, came around to score. The 4, 5, and 6 hitters were the 3 runs of the last inning. Brown misses the zone 1-0. So I imagine we'll see Jose Velasquez for the 9th in a safe situation for Hayes. Ground ball to the left side. And foul, 1-1. Redden this season batting .275. After tonight, he has 12 hits, and he's looking for number 13 on the season right now. The 1-1 comes home. Fastball outside, 2-1. Again, the Larks will have the next 2 days off, but we'll be back in Hayes for a double-digit homestand, starting off with 4 games against Fort Collins. And you can catch those games at Larks Park or watch them here. Both options free of charge. If you do watch online, all we do is ask that you subscribe. It helps us out and helps us reach a broader audience. Doesn't cost a thing. You won't get spam or anything from us, but we're trying to be able to stream the games from our website, and once we hit 1,000, YouTube will let us do it. 3-2, we'll get a payoff pitch from Brown here in the bottom of the 8th. Larks 0-1 against Junction this season. We're going to split the season series here on the home turf of the Brigade. Brown shakes off a sign from Loomis, and by time he nods, Redden calls time. Jackson Jones on deck with Howard in the hole for Junction. The 6'4" righty, Cade Brown, goes home. Off speed will punch out the second batter of the inning, number 3 on the day. Redden goes down looking in the bottom of the 8th. Hayes takes a 2-run lead to the 9th here on Larks Network. Cade Brown works a 1-2-3-8 and takes us to the ninth. Hayes up 5-3. First delivered to Cortland Lawson. Fastball inside 1-0. Cortland on the day. 0 for 3 with the ground out, reaching on an error in the 6th and a strikeout. But he also walked in the 4th inning. Continues his on-base streak, looking for his first hit. He will swing and miss at this one. 1-1 counted. Still Chandler Young on the mound. 5-3 game. Young off speed outside. 2-1. And 2-1 misses inside, 2-2. Cortland Lawson, a native of Virginia, took his talents to Tennessee to play for the Volunteers 2 years ago. Didn't play in 2020, picked up quite a few games in 2021. For the Larks, he's played in 7 games, recorded 8 hits, and now has 12 walks on the season. And that's his second one today. He's aboard. Grant Schmidt to the box. He is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts. He is the only Lark to not be aboard tonight. And the Larks have 7 of their 9 guys to be aboard multiple times. 0-1 to Grant. Grant started off his season so well. Had a hit in every game, getting things going. Had a few home runs. And seemed like he was going to be an extremely tough out to get. And he is. Don't get me wrong. He just had things not go his way the past few games. In his first few ball games, went 2 for 3, 4 for 5, 2 for 5, 3 for 6, 2 for 5 again, 2 for 6. And has 3 hits in his last 3 ball games. Had over a week off after he didn't go to Colorado. Last game he played was against Junction before playing in yesterday's ball game. Sends this one to center field, and he's going to be aboard. Larks have 9 players get a hit today, or get on base today. And the throw home is going to be in time. Cortland Lawson will not dodge the tag like he thought he did. He's going to argue with the home plate umpire. It's a double for Grant Schmidt, and that arguably could have been run number 6, but Lawson will be back to the dugout representing out number 1. And close play at the plate. Good throw from Beiswanger in center. Grant Schmidt is hit number 6 of the ball game for Hayes. Poor Jackson today. She singled in the 8th inning and scored the first run in the inning that Hayes scored 2. First delivery, he takes to first base. Gus Freeman waits on it, tags first base, but moving to third base is Grant Schmidt. 2 outs, 1 on, as we go to Zach Henry. Zach Henry to the dish. He's 283 on the season with an OBP of 443. Was back in the lineup yesterday after having Sunday off, and he went 1 for 3. So Cam Pearson will finish his day with 2 walks and 2 runs scored. Henry, one of 5 Mavericks from UTA on the roster. 4 of them appeared today. The other one that didn't was Jackson Blue. He pitched yesterday's game and got the start in the Larks' 15-11 win. 0-2 to Henry. Henry throws right-handed, hits left-handed, digs into left-hander's batter's box versus the southpaw Young, and the 0-2 is on its way. Henry chops it over the head of Young. It goes into second base. Waries will try to throw out Henry, but he's just too fast, and he picks up an RBI and brings home Grant Schmidt. Infield single for Henry. He has a ton of speed. The Larks have a lot of speed on the roster. Him, Jaminian, and Palmer, the 3 fastest Would love to see a race between those guys. For Zach Henry, that's RBI number 11 this season. And Grant Schmidt just scored his 16th run this season. And that brings us to the bottom of the order, Brock Loomis. Loomis walked in his last AB and doubled in the 5th inning, brought home a run in inning number 5. Hayes up now 6-3. It'll be a save situation for Jose Velasquez, who's back in the pen and warming up. Henry has a lot of speed on the base paths, has the most stolen bases on the team, doesn't go here, and Loomis swings at this one down 0-2, but the last 0-2 count Young had, he allowed a single from Henry. Tyler Palmer on deck if Hayes needs him. And Henry is taking off. Loomis takes this one above the letters. And Archie at the letters, and they will punch out Loomis on strikes. Larks get a run back in the 9th. They lead by 3 as we go to the bottom half, and Jose Velasquez comes to the rubber.
For the Hayes Larks, all of my friends are gonna be there too. Nothing in the world I'd rather do than grab a hot dog burger and a cold beer. You'll hear me yelling out a big cheer, 'cause whether they win or whether they lose, I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. I can't wait to see a home run. I know for sure there's gonna be one. I'll call out the players by their first name. Sure am glad I made it to the game. Rain or shine, I'm gonna be there. If the stands are full, I'll bring a lawn chair. So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks! So join me down at the old ballpark. I'll be rooting for the Hayes Larks. Hayes Larks!
Bottom of the 9th, the save situation for Jose Velasquez. Jackson Jones will lead it off. He has a double in his last AB. Drove in a run and scored one run in that 7th inning. Velasquez will miss outside 1-0. Velasquez is a tall righty out of Phoenix, Arizona. Plays for Cochise College. It is a safe situation for Jose. He has no saves recorded on the season. Larks have a couple, one from Wyatt Divis, and this will be Velasquez's first opportunity as a Lark. Appearance number 9 for Velasquez on the season. He's thrown 21 innings, has one start. This is his 8th straight appearance in relief. He's 4-0 on the year, and he's allowed just 5 hits. 4 of those were on Saturday against Boulder, and his relief effort when the Larks won an extra, or excuse me, not extra innings, 8 innings, 16-6. He struck out 18 and walked just 7. He's been the most reliable guy for the Larks. Still not allowed a single earned run, but he will walk Jackson Jones to get the bottom of the 9th started. Just the 8th inning walk just the 8th walk of the season. Grant Howard to the dish. He's a 7-hole. He's 0 for 3. Parker struck him out once and got him to ground out to Parker. And then Cade Brown struck him out in the 7th inning. He's looking for his first hit. He's one of 2 guys to not be aboard for Junction City. Cord Jackson's going to come off second base, go to his left side, scoop it and throw to Sam Growl, sending ground back to first base. And Howard will finish his day 0 for 4, and the Larks have their first out of the bottom of the 9th. Takes us to Dylan Waries. Waries is 1 for 3 on the day with 2 strikeouts, both against Hunter Parker, and he singled, was the first batter that Cade Brown faced in the 7th inning. Spell on deck with Weiswanger in the hole. Waries is the second baseman from Emporia Estates. Velasquez didn't allow a hit until his 4th appearance of the season, and still is yet to allow an earned run. Went his first 18 innings without allowing a single hit, and the Larks, through their first 12 innings, allowing just 2 hits to start the season. He was the first 3 on the second game of the season, and this one will allow the runner to advance to third. Larks on opening day almost threw a complete game no-hitter. Wyatt Davis threw 3 greats, and then over through the next 3. Slipping my mind, I'll check that. Luke Terbeek came in for the last 3, and the Larks shut out the Roughnecks and allowed just 2 hits. Swing and a miss on this one. Count moves to 1-1. The 1-1 from Velasquez, flown into center field. Tyler Palmer moves in and will throw home. Runner tagging up. The throw home is going to be off the line, and Junction gets their 4th run of the game. They're down by 2, and now there's 2 outs. A sacrifice fly from Waries. He picks up his 3rd RBI of the day, and Jones scores his 2nd run of the day. Bottom of the order, bottom of the 9th, 2 away. Hayes up 6-4 against Junction. Checking that out, it was Wyatt Davis went the first 3 innings, striking out 5, no hits. Blue came in for the next 3, struck out 3, allowed 4 walks. Terbeek came in, struck out 4, and the Larks were down to their final 2 outs with a no-hitter, and Noco got their first hit. So the great effort from Terbeek, Blue, and Davis. Terbeek been so great out of the bullpen for Hayes, and Blue got the start yesterday, had a good outing through the first few innings, and Davis has been one of the Larks' biggest players over the past 4 years. This is Rhett Speltadish. He's 1 for 3 with a single. He grounded out to Cabot on the 3rd and popped out to Loomis to end the 5th inning. That was part of 3 straight 1-2-3 innings from Hunter Parker, who was in a groove in this game. Fastball from Velasquez will miss low, 2-1. That was Jose Velasquez's first earned run of the entire season through 21 2/3. Two 6 goes home, gets a strike 2 called. Two and 2, Velasquez goes home. Junction down to their final strike, down 6-4 on their home field, and Velasquez will send this one to the left-hander's batter's box. Hunter Parker got the start in this game. Went 6 innings, 3 earned runs, all runs in the 7th, striking out 7, allowing 5 hits, no walks. Cade Brown throws 2 innings in relief, no walks, striking out 4 and allows 2 hits. Velasquez has thrown the 9th. Ground ball to Kavanaugh. This could do it. He picks it up and throws to Sam Crowell. The throw will pull Crowell off the bat, but he applies the tag to the number 1 on the back of Spell's jersey, and the Larks will beat the Brigade on their field 6-4. Larks will finish their season against the Brigade 1-1, winning on the road and losing at home. Velasquez picks up his first save of the season, and Cade Brown picks up his second win of the season. Brigade finished their day with 7 hits. They have just 1 walk. It was against Velasquez. They score 4 runs and leave 5 on base. As for the Larks, 7 hits, 9 walks. They score 6 runs and leave 9 on base. And they will go 2-0 on their road series, beating the Cannons last night in 10 innings and beating Junction here 6-4 in a regulation game. It's a non-league game, so the Larks will stay at first place, a full game up against the Fort Collins Foxes. They're 16-4 now on the season on a 4-game win streak. Brigade now won 6 of their last 8, and they're 14-9 on the year. Again, the next 2 days the Larks will have off, but they will be starting a 4-game series against the Fort Collins Foxes on Saturday. You can catch it right here on Larks Network. As for here, this has been Carson Ackerman on the call. Thank you for tuning in. Larks win 6-4 against Junction. We'll see you Saturday. Have a great night.